It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Lipscomb University head women's golf coach, Jesse Lawley. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just excited to talk to you and talk about Lipscomb and the women's golf team.
That's wonderful. Can you talk about, of course, how you got started in college coaching?
Yeah. So obviously I played collegiately and really wanted an MBA or a master's in business. So I started applying for GA roles, graduate assistant roles, and ended up at Berry College. And within about, I'm going to say 3 months, I was like, man, I'm hooked. So not sure I can see myself doing anything else. And I've loved every minute of it since.
Can you talk about, of course, your coaching time at Berry College?
Yeah, so we were pretty successful. They also had some success after I left, so I'm super proud of what they've accomplished. I'm still really good friends with my head coach there, and some of the players as well. Really a growing experience for me. Obviously, I was managing, full-time master's load as well as traveling full-time with the team in the spring and the fall. I can't say enough good things about Barry and what it taught me on how to be a coach. And obviously I was young and actually had one player who was technically older than I was. But that's part of growing and maturity and really enjoyed my time there. It's definitely made me a better coach here at Lipscomb.
Can you talk about, of course, while you were at Berry, how difficult it was, like, just getting into coaching and learning that respect from the players that, like, hey, I'm not your friend, like, that is playing with you, I'm your coach?
Yeah. So, I think one of the first times that I ever played with a couple of the players, I either beat them or we were pretty close. And so it was pretty quickly. And then I played a match, me and one of the girls versus two of the guys, because I actually coached men and women there. So pretty quickly, kind of my rep as a good golfer kind of gained respect from them. And because of that, there was the respect. And then obviously I showed up and I did my job and, just was consistent in their life. So I think it was definitely hard because there was definitely times where I wanted to hang out with them and just couldn't. But for the most part, I really enjoyed being there. And also, like I said, it was a growing experience to be their age, but also be involved. So I feel like the girls really accepted me because I mainly focused on the women, obviously, but I did coach both. But I think the girls there really accepted me as who I am and that I am a pretty good golfer and also understood that I was growing as a coach. So I think it was just kind of the full package and the respect just kind of comes with that.
Can you talk about, of course, your collegiate career at UAB?
Yeah, so I actually transferred there for my last 2 years. Love my time there. Birmingham's a great city. I'm actually from about an hour north of Birmingham, from Gadsden, Alabama. I don't know if you know where that is, but love my time there at UAB. Was very involved in the athletic department there, and fundraising, and the basketball program was very successful. And when I was there, we went to the NCAA tournament and won a game. So just some good times. Very thankful for my degree there. It's a great school. Business department is phenomenal, and definitely really I didn't really struggle in grad school. I was more than prepared for grad school and especially coaching with what I learned as a golfer there too.
Can you talk, of course, about the historical season in 2019 and 2020 at Lipscomb?
Yeah, so it's actually in the last decade, it was voted the best season that Lipscomb women's golf has ever had. Incredible. I'm so proud of my kids. I call them kids, even though I'm really not much older than they are. I wish I could put it into words. We won 2 tournaments. They'd only won, I think, 1 tournament in like their 20 years of D1, and we won 2 in about a span of 3 weeks. We ended up with the highest golf stat ranking that they'd ever had in Division One. That's being my 3rd year as a coach and basically taking the program, basically starting from scratch to some extent. Just incredible. It really speaks to obviously finding the right kids that fit Lipscomb and wanting to grow, but also just their willingness to work hard in the weight room and especially on the golf course. And I also brought in my part-time assistant that year, and so she is quite a golfer in her own right. So she's just added to the package. So I'm very grateful.
Can you talk about, of course, the winning culture that you have helped build at Lipscomb?
Yeah, it takes time, man. That's all I can say. It just takes so much time and learning your kids and learning what kid fits Lipscomb, because we are a Christian university and we're extremely high academic. So for us, you have to find the right fit. And then on top of that, I want them to be a good golfer and just a good kid and have good character. So to find all of that is not easy. But once you do, you can build off of that and make it your culture and have the expectations and the standards. And that's across the board. That's in the classroom. That's in the weight room. I tell girls, hey, if you see a piece of trash on the ground, you should pick it up. Like, be the better person, be the example. As an athlete, you are held to a higher standard. We love to say that we're not, but we are. And so I tell my girls, as hard as that is, try to live into that and just be who you are, but also be a better person and be an example.
Who are some teams that you play in your conference?
Yeah, so it actually just got announced this week. I don't know if you've seen, but we're adding Central Arkansas, Jacksonville State, and Eastern Kentucky in the fall of 2021. But this year, we'll see at conference Kennesaw State, North Alabama, Stetson, Florida Gulf Coast, Jacksonville, North Florida. Liberty's in our conference, but they don't have women's golf. I think that's everybody. We just added Bellarmine. I know it's missing one. Bellarmine. We added them this fall. So they made the transition to D1. So they'll be there in the spring.
Can you talk about, of course, what game day looks like for women's golf?
A lot of time on the golf course. No. Typically you get up, I guess, between, I say 5:36, get a quick little breakfast, go warm up, whatever that looks like. I try to have my girls obviously hit balls, putt, but, get a few chips in, get a few sand bunker shots in. And you can usually get all that in about 40 minutes. And then you go out there and you either ride or walk 36 holes, usually the first day, unless it's a 3-day tournament where you play 18, 18, 18. But no, it's usually 36, 18, and you get a quick dinner, and then you go back to bed and you do it all over again the next day. For somebody who doesn't understand golf, it probably sounds miserable and boring. But gosh, I love it. I really do. We're about to, my dog's about to make an appearance. Actually, see if you can see her. Yeah, there she is. This is Lippy for Lipscomb. Yeah, girl. I know it's like it sounds boring to somebody who's not a golfer, but we're actually about to make. I'm actually hosting a tournament in Florida this coming up weekend, and we're gonna have to drive 7.5 hours. So it stops. It'll be about 8.5 hours, and we'll be rolling in at midnight, probably midnight 1 a.m. on Tuesday. And as much as that sucks, just to have to drive that long and do that, like, I cannot wait. Like, I refuse to complain just because I get to coach my kids again. I'm just so ready to coach. I'm ready to see them play and show off what we've been working on.
Can you talk about, of course, with COVID and stuff, what has things changed for women's golf?
Whew, what a loaded question, man. Let me see where I should start. Recruiting has been not as easy, just because they can't come on campus. So, and they can't meet me. And so that's tough. They can come and see the campus without me, but, most most kids already know if they want to visit Lipscomb, they want to see if the golf program is going to work for them. So that's been kind of hard. We can't have as many team functions as I would like. I recently just moved within the city here in Nashville. And, I've got a bigger house, and I'd love for my golf team to come over and see it. Let me, have possibly a pizza night or something and watch a basketball game or something. But, we can't do that right now. And it sucks because they desperately want that, especially this, I would say our age, but maybe even a little younger. They just desperately want the truth, and they desperately want the community. And that's also a testament to my team. They want that. They want to be together. So that's probably the hardest part. And then just learning to be safe and always wear a mask. I think at this point it's pretty understood. And even in the weight room, we wear one, like you just adjust to it. But these kids and even the coaches, we're bending over just backwards with all the rules to get to play. And as much as that is relentless and being going with the flow, it's still to get to play this coming up weekend. Like I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. I really wouldn't.
Can you talk about, of course, what the recruitment process looks like for prospective student athletes?
Yeah, I mean, most kids usually, email, or their swing coach will call, or basically they'll email, or I'll see them at a golf tournament and mark their name down and reach out to them later on. And then it's usually visiting campus, meeting me. We have phone conversations, text messages. I see how you're playing, and just kind of unfolds from there. And you just you make sure. For me, like I said, I'm looking for the right kid for Lipscomb. Whatever that, each team varies at Lipscomb what that looks like. But for me, I want a high academic kid, and I would say it's across the board as well. But I'm looking for a good golfer who may even be a late bloomer. Just kind of depends.
Can you talk about, of course, what does an official visit look like for women's golf?
Yeah, I don't do too many. I'll be honest. I usually really try to narrow that down. I know it's we're more of a smaller school, so we don't do a ton of official visits, or I don't. Also, I'm not bringing in more than 2 kids probably a year. I did, I guess, a couple years ago bring in 4, and that was a lot for a golf team. That basically outfits almost an entire team. So I don't do a lot of official visits. If I do, then you need to know that I'm pretty serious about you.
That's amazing. What advice would you have upcoming future high school women's golf players looking to play in college?
Great question. What would I advise? Get a swing coach, probably number one, and get a swing coach that you trust and that they can be honest with you to help grow your game. School matters. You may think it doesn't, but it does. Again, I have my minimum requirements just to get you in the door at Lipscomb, much less to, I don't control what admissions does. So, you've got to meet the minimum requirements to get into Lipscomb. And I have no control over that. So that as well. And then play tournaments, get out there and play. Definitely at times hit balls in the rain. I know that's why would you go hit in the rain? It's very underrated. And go play 18 or 36 holes and then go hit balls after, so you can learn how to hit balls when you're tired. I know that sounds crazy. And get a trainer or get in the weight room. As I explain it to most recruits, when you're lifting with when you walk in as a freshman, you're going to be lifting and competing with a spot for a senior who's been working out with our trainer now for 4 years. So you're already a couple of years behind before you ever walked in the door. So get in the weight room. It does matter, and whatnot.
That's great advice. What advice would you have upcoming college coaches looking to get started?
Wow, good question. I still feel like I'm learning all the time, man. I mean, I'm 27, so I don't know. I think I would just say just be truthful. Be truthful. That's probably the biggest thing. Be truthful and have the passion for it. If you're in the middle of the road, your athletes will know it. If you're not committed, they will know it. They can sense it. Especially if you build that relationship with you. So be committed, show up on time, and do your job, and you will get the respect you need.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with Lipscomb Women's golf program at?
Yeah, so I don't know that I even know my handles. I think I'm just at Jesse Lawley. I think for both Instagram and Twitter, I think. And then just Lipscomb Sports. You can find all our sports there as well as women's golf. And just excited for the year, man. We're about to start, so I'm super excited about what the year is going to look like. So.
That's wonderful. Thank you again, Coach Jesse, for your interview, and best of luck in this upcoming season at Lipscomb.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Jesse, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.